So about 3 years ago, I started painting. It was right before the start of COVID. My mom had this blank spot in her house and I thought it needed a new piece of artwork there. So I took it upon myself to paint her something for her birthday. And then I really liked the way it turned out. So I started painting all the time. COVID hit, I painted that whole entire summer. And then I was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. And I'm normally a teacher, but I had the full school year off to paint. So I dedicated all my extra time and energy into creating art, and now I do art full time. Hello, my name is Alexandra Gronfors, and this is my art studio. I've been painting for 3 years. Welcome. So when I started painting, I really just started for therapeutic reasons, going through cancer treatment, but I just wanted to have a lot of fun with painting. So it was really rewarding for me just to look at all my colors and grab some and start putting it on the canvas, and maybe in ways that were against your typical rules of art. And I just wanted to play with it, and I ended up loving the colors, and it just was so happy and joyful to work with those colors. And I'd create a piece, and at the end it just would bring me joy, so I kept working with those colors. So I love to paint a whole bunch of different things. I've kind of found that most recently it's Ontario landscapes, so I love to focus on the Georgian Bay region, the windswept trees, the rustic rocks, the really vibrant clouds and skies with a lot of movement in there, and then reflections in the water. That's kind of my go-to. I find that I also paint a lot of animals, so I'll do pet portraits, but also a lot of moose and bear, just because I can play with the fur and have a lot of fun with that. So I am inspired by the beautiful world around us, and I love to try to find pieces in nature that speak to me. I love the windswept trees. I love the Georgian Bay exposed rock. I just think it's so beautiful in this area. So for me to be able to try to capture that into a painting and bring the beauty of nature indoors, I just find so rewarding, and that's really what inspires me. And when people say that my pieces bring them joy, then it brings me joy, and that just keeps me going. So I grew up with a cottage up north, so that was kind of, it feels like home there. So I think that's why I love to paint that region. Also, I just love cottaging. So for me to be able to create art that often ends up in people's cottages, it makes me happy. Yeah, so art during chemotherapy, it's obviously a horrible thing to go through and you don't have a lot of energy. I had just landed my dream teaching job, so I was so pumped up to be teaching. And then I had that all taken away from me, and I started losing my hair, and it was COVID, and I had to move back in with my parents, and I felt like my whole life was just falling apart. So for me to be able to wake up in the morning, and if I felt energized, I could start painting on the canvas was so refreshing, and it energized me. It gave me something to work towards, and just promoting my business and marketing my business, and I made so many new connections in doing so, and it just gave me something to be proud of when it felt like everything else was falling apart. So I think whenever we go through something really hard in life, which obviously I've gone through stage 4 cancer, I went through a breakup at the time, I had to move back home. I would say it was like the bottom of my life. Finding something that is your own during that time is so critical, and it's so important. So I was lucky, I was blessed to be able to find art, and I started painting, and I showed my art, and that's what got me through. But it doesn't necessarily have to be art for someone. It could be filmmaking, it could be candle making, it could be making Excel sheets. I don't know, it could be anything that you're just able to kind of take ownership over when everything else is kind of falling apart. And I think doing that is really gonna just motivate people, because they see success and they see accomplishment when it feels like nothing else is going their ways. So for me, creativity was extremely therapeutic. Art was extremely therapeutic, to have a blank canvas and to add color, and just in a couple hours it's something completely different. It's just so rewarding. This is obviously my studio space here. I would love to expand my space one day and have some sort of studio where I'm working, but I'm also displaying all my work as kind of like my own gallery, and I host classes. I think it would be a lot of fun to have kids come in and do group lessons, have adults come in and kind of make it like a storefront. So that would be my ultimate hope and dream. So to start painting, I really don't think it's gonna cost a lot of money, and it doesn't take a lot of time. You can just go to the dollar store and pick up a canvas and some brushes and some paint, and honestly, under $20 you can start painting. I think the biggest hurdle that we come to is what if it looks really bad, or what are people gonna say about it? And if you just block that out and you just create, I think you're gonna find much more success. I also always tell people, if you're gonna create for the first time, create something that you're excited about. I have absolutely no art training whatsoever. It just comes naturally to me. I'm a certified teacher by trade, so I went to school for 5 years to become a teacher, which I'm able to incorporate into my art through lessons and paint nights, but I have no qualified degrees or anything to support my art. I'm totally self-taught. And I think that's actually what makes it more rewarding and gives me so much more passion towards painting.